430. How about it? How about it out there? Anybody got a copy on No Nookie from Nome, Alaska?
Skip is rolling today.
Oh, they hit Alaska though, huh? 430. The personal is No Nookie. No Nookie, and I live in Nome, Alaska.
Okay, Nome, Alaska, and I do not have it on the map. Alaska, close. Well, yeah, I do. But I don't have towns or cities, so I don't know. But that's way up here. And I'm way down here where this orange dot is. That's my location. Right there.
987, I don't know where you are, but I can hear 987 coming out on top of all that mess out there.
This is on lower sideband. This is a single sideband radio. This is AM is your basic CB, your basic CB radio band, which I can switch over there. There's your regular CB. And then you go down to, these are regular CBers. Channel 19, your basic trucker channel. But see, you don't really hear much on CB unless somebody's talking. That's why I have the one I have in my truck has exactly what this can do. A little bit more functions though. This is old. This is my grandpa's old radio. And shoot, a Uniden, Washington. It's a pretty good radio. It's just a barefoot. It ain't got no amplifier. This is another CB radio that he had. This don't work no more. See, that's an AM only. And it only has 23 channels. Only 23 channels on that. Okay, they're talking on lower sideband. And there's your volume, and squelch. So if you put a CB in your truck and you don't know really how to work it, the main two things is your volume and this. And just a switch, basically like that, to go on your bands. So if I want to take all that noise out, I do have NB, which is noise blinker and automatic limiter on. This is with it off. Here's the difference. See, it brings signal in a little bit better. But if I want to cut some of that out, turn the squelch up. There you go. So you got your volume up. You got your squelch on. And so if you're driving down the road and you don't want to hear that staticky.
Roger.
This squelch is not. There it is. See? When somebody starts talking on there, now see it needle moving a little bit, so the weak signals cannot break through the squelch. You can see the needle moving, but they're talking. But if I can hear a little bit. Or other option to do, if you had a mobile in your truck, is just keep your volume turned down to where it ain't too loud for you, and keep your automatic noise limiter on. I turn the noise blinker off, adjust the squelch. Yeah, it had to go all the way up to 12 o'clock on the knob, these little dots. 12, 9, 3. And then it fades out because there's too much static. But got some of them big stations in there. I just came in here to turn it on for just a minute, just to see what's out there, what's going on in the world. And now I'm about to take y'all out there to the truck and see what I did to the truck. So, inside the house there, where that small lamp was sitting on top of the CB, I used to have this one, which in my older couple of videos a while back, I had this in my truck and I took it out. But I kept everything, and it's easy to hook up. Ain't much to it. Got your, let me get some more light in here. Open the door. Natural sunlight. Your red and black wire. The best way to hook one of these up where you don't get no engine noise. Some CBs like I had in the past, they were hooked to the fuse box or something like something of that nature. I have a connector that you can hook into a cigarette lighter, which I had it hooked up that way, and I got that engine noise. On this one, it's got a front port mic. My volume is right here. Galaxy DX979F. Delta X-Ray 979er Foxtrot. I just read that out in the NATO alphabet. My grandpa was into CB radios and ham radios and stuff, so I kind of learned a little thing from him. He really got me into the hobby, and I just basically stayed in it. I still got my old CB that I had, or 10 meter radio. Well, it's a CB and 10 meter. In the house. It quit working. I wish I can hook it up. It's got a lot more functions on here than this one. I got knobs all the way across, and then my microphone has to come down here, you know, off the side. And plus it's wider. It comes on out like this. My mount back in there is adjustable. So I can adjust from a small Cobra 19, little small Cobra 19, to the Cobra 29, which is a little bit full size. Adjust my squelch. There you go. I'm on the CB band right now, AM. Switch over there to the lower side band. Ontario, Canada.
Skybanger sings over in Arizona, a hard drive. It's day 253.
About the radio, when I bought it online, and they had an option, say, do you want to have it peaked, tuned, and aligned? It takes a little longer to ship, so you gotta wait a little bit. So I was like, yeah, I'm patient. You know, I already got another, I'm a radio guy, so I got quite a few in my collection in there that works. So I hooked one of those up until this one come in. I kind of wish I went with like a Texas Ranger RCI 99V. It's the one with a little red switch over here. It don't have a big meter like a Galaxy's known for, a big, you know, meter. This thing right here will put out maybe 40-45 watts with it's got a power. This is a clarifier for my frequency counter. See that? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now you heard how weird he sounded there by me turning this knob with clarifier. I was adjusting the frequency, so I was drifting off frequency, and or basically like my finger here, I'm in the middle of the frequency, and then I'm drifting off this way. It comes back clear. I'm drifting off the other way. That's a frequency counter. Some radios do not have that. They got more like switches and knobs up here, and they just have your channel. But I kind of like to have a frequency counter. But when my grandpa died, I got a lot of his stuff, and he had a Galaxy 6-digit frequency counter that plugs into the radio. It cannot plug into this one, but it plugs into like a 10-meter radio that only has the channel selector right here. And so when I saw this one amongst the other ones I was looking at, I was like, well, for the price, and it was on sale, roughly around $250 or so. That's before having it peaked and tuned, or around about that much for peaking and tuning on it, and having it lined, scoped, and basically what they do to the radio to give it the most power output of what you can get with what type of radio you have. Like you want to get one a little better than this one. That Ranger RCI is a lot better. It's got a better carrier. It's got a lot more power. It's like 200 watts compared to my 40 watt to 45, 50.
Out there, man. He's going ahead.
Northern Minnesota. My power, this is my RF power. I mean, no, there's my RF power right here. These are called double barrel switches because they're double function. So mic gain all the way up, RF gain, which is the radio, what you're hearing, all the way up. My power, my transmitting power is, I need a flashlight. Give me a minute.
Oh, yeah. You see a lot of them picking it up. Anything that runs on 27 megahertz that shows up here is a DX.
Where is it? It ain't all the way up. I know. Yeah. I'll find my little. Oh. Okay, now it's at 12 o'clock. I see that little, see my little notch. Okay, I want to turn RF power about 3 to 4 o'clock. Not all the way up. There's all the way up. And I'll back it down out of here. And what I got up here on the top is a dimmer, which I cannot turn on and off. I can just dim it. I got power modulation and SWR. I'll show you what my, go back, I want to get up on 40. Go to AM. Oh, my rate, oh. It's gonna look weird. Okay. SWR. Key up. We're looking at the bottom scale where it says SWR. .5. That's due to I got a lot of trees around me and everything. If I was in an open field, I have tuned my antenna to this radio. On other radios, they have a calibration knob that you can calibrate the radio to the antenna, but I don't have that, so I got a magnet mounted antenna, which I've shown in the past. I'll show it again at the end. Modulation. Top scale where the S is. Okay, here you go. Audio, audio, audio. Look at that. Move that needle. My talk back. That's a talk back. That TB. That means I can hear myself through the radio. Audio, audio. Bend the needle, bend the needle. Modulation has been adjusted on this thing from World Radio is where I got the radio. But there's other people out there that has a website called walcottradio.com or worldradio.com is where you can go to get peaked and tuned. Power. Okay, now we're gonna switch it over down to power, and that'd be the middle scale. That's why I kind of like Galaxies, but I also like other radios too, because I can see what my scale's doing. The older you get, the bigger thing you're gonna need. See, my power's maxed out. Play with it a little bit. I'm gonna turn my power all the way down. That's all the way down. Modulation. Audio, audio, audio. Still got a good carrier with the power all the way down. All the way up, and then I'll back it down about a quarter. My little cousin watches my videos, and she likes colorful lights and stuff, I'm sure. So this one goes out to her. Come in, Carmen. Come in, Carmen. Baby bear. Baby bear. How you doing? Happy birthday, by the way. Her birthday was a couple of days ago, this past weekend. Went back to lower side band. What's making these popular in the younger generation these days? There was a show, or there is a show on Netflix. Stranger Things, and there's a kid named Dustin. Gaten Madrazo plays that character. He's one of the funniest ones I like, man. I like him, Argyle from season 4 and Eddie from season 4. But mainly, I'd say I'm a pretty big, Dustin character from. I think one of my favorite characters is Dustin because he talks on CB radios with his buddies in the show from season 1, 2, and 3. He's like, "We got a code red, we got a code red," and he's talking on an old realistic CB radio handheld device that you can carry with you. You know, runs on AA batteries back then. Had a big old telescoping antenna that shoots up like a whip, and he's got it on his bicycle. It kind of reminds me of my childhood right there. You know, had a handheld duct tape to my bicycle, and one thing people didn't know about me, I'm a counselor at Camp Nowhere, 1985. Not really, but that is Dustin's hat from season 3 when he comes back from camp and he tells everybody about his girlfriend. "Hey, y'all want to meet Susie? Let's go to an open field up on top of this hill and I'm going to show you something." And he pulls out a backpack, and then he gets, I'm kind of a spoiler, but he has his friends carry the equipment for him. And he had went to, I guess, this Camp Nowhere and learned more about CB radios and stuff, or ham radios. And back in them days, in the 80s, you didn't have to really have a license to operate. To talk to these people, like right now, I would have to have a license by the FCC or whatever, which I do not have, but I can monitor and listen, kind of catch some crosstalk. Basically what's going on in Israel. Sometimes I'll hear some chatter, but given the time zone, see, we're in different time zones right now, so you just got to catch it at that time. But yeah, in the TV show Stranger Things, they go up on top of the hill, and he's got a big kind of like a base station style, like what I had in the house there that you saw, ham radio, and they call on her. He's trying to call her handle or whatever, Susie Poo, you know, for about 2 to 3 hours, and then finally she comes in. You know, they're calling for her, but she probably didn't have her radio on until then you see the scene. She's in her like nightgown. She's about to go to bed, and her radio's on, and she hears Dustin come across the radio. But I like those scenes. He starts singing to her on the radio. That just makes, putting that on the big screen for the new generation of kids to learn about these and what they're really used for and stuff, keeps the hobby alive and keeps it going through the generations. You can still get these at your local truck stop, but they're only putting out 4 watts of power. They're regulated down to 4 watts but if you buy them from offline at a actual dealer that you can look into and do some research, and you can have them peaked and tuned, and they can put out a whole lot more than just 4 watts of power. My my longest contact I got on here with AM, which is on the CB band, which would be like here on AM. I was on 40 one time. That's where the lowest SWR is going to be. Yeah, it's below 1.5. It's like 1.4, 1.3. This is as close as I'm going to get it. But I keep that knob on modulation so I can see when I transmit. Audio, audio, audio. And every time I do that, and if I'm talking, I am on AM only. If I use my microphone. But if I just kind of want to sit there and listen to who's out there around the world, there in Canada and across the country of US. Lower sideband on channel 38. That's it for the radio. I'll show you the antenna. Now, how I got this hooked up is mainly temporary. I always keep it that way so if I need to remove this radio and I happen to get another one or something happens to that radio and I have to get me another one, I don't want to have to cut wires or anything. Now, I got them duct taped with some electrical tape, but the way I got them in there, this is my ground wire, black wire. I got gator clamps right up in here. I got gator clamps on them. So I clamped them. I used to have a car stereo in here. That's one of my old videos. And the wires remained the same. And, I mean, they are still in here. I never took these out. I just kept them tucked up in yonder. So, if I needed them for anything to hook up electronics again, I got a cable that runs directly to the battery and a ground that runs to the body of the car, truck. So that's the way you want to hook it up to get some power to that radio up yonder. And then for on the I'm not the only one in the family that has a Chevy Silverado of the cat eye body style of 2004 to 2006 and 7. But right up under the your mat, right about, you see where your front seat is, anywhere along, that's about almost a foot from the back of the seat or so, half a foot to a foot. There's a section under here where there is a plug that you can drill through. It's some kind of plug, but just get a big drill with a big drill bit, and you have to drill you a hole, and that's where the coax cable goes through. And you just cover it up with a thing so it don't be seen. And the one thing about it is you want to keep it as straight as you can. Don't coil it up like a coil. You want all of the coax, say when it runs down under the truck. Let me get a view here. I hope it's on camera somewhere. You can basically see what it looks like up under there. That's what I was talking about. And then snakes its way up through the bed, right through this gap right here, where you see on this side of the frame, you see, and it just runs up and then magnet mounted right in the middle of the truck, right here, right in the middle of the cab. That's just a Wilson little wheel from the local truck stop, magnet mounted. Like I say, it's temporary, so if I want to take it through a car wash, just hop up here, pop it off with a magnet, and slap it down here in the tailgate, right down here somewhere where it's real low. But some people say, yeah, you could just set it right there in your tailgate, right here in the middle of the bed, but you know, but then the cable has a lot of coming up, coming down, going, you know, it's like I basically try to keep it contour with a truck. My cable comes down, comes through, and snakes its way and goes into the radio right there. So low SWR is the lowest I can get it. You want it below a 1.5, which there's a key on that. I'll show you a closer look at the antenna. With that little Allen head, this little Allen head screw, you can adjust the antenna up or down. Doesn't have to adjust much, but that will affect the SWR on your radio. If you do have a radio, make sure it does have a SWR meter and adjustment for that. So when you buy a radio like this, there's other antennas out there that you can mount to a toolbox or whatever that also has this right here, that it adjusts up or down this much, and you have to come out here and adjust it, and then have somebody sitting in there looking at the radio and just key it up. Just, you know, grab the microphone and hit the talk button, but do not talk, and then watch the SWR meter if it is above 1.5 or below 1.5, and you want it to get as low as you can. So that's what I adjusted with what I got. There's other radios that have more adjustment than this one. There it is, Wilson little wheel. This thing has a coil. There's a coil inside here, and it's grounded to the body of the cab of the truck. This is an old truck. It's got like 200 something thousand miles almost on it. Right at 200,000. And I got a little bit of rust spots. There's another one popping up right there. I'm gonna have to address, keep this roof from rusting. It's kind of like a house, you know, a trailer where you have to put tar up on the roof and stuff. Well, but this is what people do not see. You normally see it from the side. You don't never get up on top. But yeah, little Wilson 1000 or Wilson little wheel. They do make better magnet mounted antennas too. So, yep. It's real bad what's going on in Israel right now. Which under the previous administration, it would never happen in the first place. But without a doubt in my mind, it could happen. It can happen to this country easily, of what's going on down on our southern border. Those people are already in our country right now. Already. They're already here. And they ain't gonna give you a warning like, hey, we're gonna attack you. No, it's gonna be out of the blue.
On the cold country of Canada, Maple Man with that wave. Good morning, Nail Driver. Good morning, Nail Driver, down around the bank. Sounding good up there in Vermont, my friend. Nail Driver, it's rough and tough. First four, great days. Hey, Woodchuck, got the funny fun waving up north. Maple Man's waving right back. 753, Vermont, standing by.
Now, see, I don't have it hooked to my ignition like if you had a fuse box.
I think I heard that station coming out of the Money Banks. What's going on, Nail Driver? Maple Man says it's been a long time, no CB there, big.
This is why I don't hook it up to a cigarette lighter or fuse box. I got it. It's direct to the battery.
Hey, Charlie 44.
Alright, we should be able to hear if I got it hooked up right. I'm going to put it down here at the speaker. And I'm going to hit the gas. We should hear a whining.
Sir. Hey, Nail Driver, I hear you coming out.
There you go. And the noise stays the same. So, see, if I press the gas, what I'm listening for, you get a whining noise. And when you put it in drive and go down the road, the radio goes, the CB goes, you know, you'll hear it go through the gears. Or if you just free rev it, just give it a little gas. You should hear it go yee, and you don't hear that. That's on AM.
Central 489 up here in the northeast corner, reading the mail. Hello, Road Tucker, 129. Big Alpha 3, waving on in.
Yep, that's it. And where I live, I got a awning which is made out of metal. So I have to turn this thing off before I pull it up under there. I really don't know why I'm doing this, because I'm gonna have to be pulling it out anyway, because I'm gonna wash the truck up. Oh, well, that'd be later, so it really don't matter. Alright, y'all, that's it for the video. It's a long one. Basically some CB stuff and why you need one. Because if cell phones go down, like I'm filming on this thing right now with a cell phone, you're gonna need a new you're gonna need an alternative way of communication, which you can get these walkie-talkies that if you have a family with kids and stuff, you can have some walkie-talkies so you can basically short range communication. And they don't talk on the frequency that CB radios talk on. It's a different frequency. So if you want to keep them all together, or if you lose one, like he has his radio, he knows what channel we're supposed to be on, or you know, this is a thing for your family, or it's a good way to communicate. If cell phones go down, hey, keep this with you, keep the radio with you. They come in like little sizes, like for camps, for camping and hiking. That's what they're designed for. And you can get them at Walmart, and they're for short range. They're about maybe some of them 20 miles or so. Where that radio I got in my truck, I can reach out 50 miles, 40 to 50 miles in a circle, like a big radar. So if my cousin had one in her truck and she was like 20 miles from me to the south, I would back my truck out like right out here somewhere. Or actually, see, we're on a hill, but the hill ain't big enough, so go up to the very tip top of the hill, which is way up here. I get up here and I can talk out. And that's where I made my longest so far communication range with that radio. Is I went up here and I talked all the way from where I am south of Ozark, Alabama, and then to the south of me about a good 20-30 miles or so. That way is Dothan, or Dothan, whichever one you want to call it now. It's one of the biggest cities in the southeast corner of Alabama state. But Geneva is basically at the Florida-Alabama line. Below that, down where Enterprise is, go south of Enterprise. So if I was talking to Geneva, which is south of Geneva, very close to the Alabama and Florida line, on a barefoot radio out of the box that's been peaked and tuned in line from the people I bought it from, that's doing very well for my I didn't even expect that. I was like, wow, you can hear me loud and clear down that far, almost to the Alabama line. And that was on like a day like today. Conditions are right for talking. That's what you saw in the video just now. There's a lot of talking back and forth. Canada and Alaska, the conditions are just, you know, a-okay for it today. It may not be that tomorrow. That's the thing with these radios is, when the conditions are right, you can make a long range transmission, or when the conditions are bad, you stay somewhere between 20 to 10 miles or so. Or like some of these movies you see, some people, they won't talk all day long, you know. We'll be like, okay, it's 6 o'clock or 7 or 8 o'clock at night. We'll be on the radio. That's our, that would be our given time to communicate, to see what's going on with you over there. Do you need ammunition? Do you need water, food, supplies? Because apparently Hamas is probably in the United States planning a massive, another second 9/11 like Israel. And it's going to be we, the people. That's why they got to really think about it if you're going to attack us, because we have a constitution. We have a Second Amendment. Under Mr. Smith and Wesson and Mr. Ruger over there, and the greatest president of my older middle age. I was born during the first administration of the Ronald Reagan, 1983, 84. So actually I was born in 84. I was supposed to be born in 83, but I was kind of a late baby. I was like, my due date's here, and nothing happened. My mom's water didn't break. And they were like, well, just wait, maybe another day or two, and you know, here we go. We're coming into 1984 here. So, in the Reagan administration. And so I ended up being a, what we call, Reagan baby. And now I'm middle age, about 40 years old. But the greatest president of my time was of the time I can be a registered voter, you know, and there's Trump. I already voted for him twice, 2016 and 2020. And now make a 2024. I guess that what that old saying they had, hey, 3 times a charm. If you don't succeed once or twice, or maybe the 3rd time's a charm, right? Well, given the world state of what's going on in the world, maybe people will start wising up, because he will definitely do something. It'll be an all-out fury like Desert Storm over there right now. Calling in A-10 Warhogs, close air support. We will bring the hurt among every Hamas terrorist group. That's it for that video for the truck. It's going to be a long one. Thrust turbo muffler, Y pipe, and the regular tailpipes. It's a dual system. Single muffler. There's the other pipe over there. All right, that's it.